Hey guys, it's Ginny Silver. We're doing a live California EDD Q&A today. It's Friday. I've been doing 2 streams a week the last month and a half, I think. Next week, I'm probably going to start dropping it down to 1 stream a week again on Wednesdays, but I'll post an announcement with that change. Now, I'm not an EDD representative. I don't work for the EDD, so just a reminder to those of you who are watching the replay for the first time, you're not used to me. Don't work for the EDD. Yesterday, before I go any further, yesterday I shared a petition. I shared a video which is embedded in the petition, but you can find the video for that over on my channel homepage. I also want my moderator, Michael, to drop the link for the petition in the chat box right about now so that you guys can go over and sign that. Keep in mind, I say this on the video and the pinned comment in the video, I don't want you guys to think that by signing a petition, things are going to magically change. I want you guys to feel supported. I want you guys to feel like you have someone who is speaking out for you, who is making your problems, concerns, questions known. And I want you guys to know that you have someone that's trying to get media attention for your problem. So once it gets more signatures within the next day, I will send it over to the governor's office. But keep in mind that we're asking for, in that petition, I'm asking for him to address the issues directly with you guys, in addition to considering reallocating some of that already earmarked spending to unemployment extension. So I don't want you guys to count on that as something that is a promise to come through, because that money is already earmarked for other programs. So it is unlikely, but there does need to be clear communication from representatives to EDD claimants on the updates, such as the letter from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen that needs to be addressed, etc. You guys also need to have someone who is able to voice your concerns for you on a bigger platform. So that was another reason for doing that yesterday. I am just a random YouTuber, but I do get news interviews frequently. I do speak to the actual EDD representatives, the media department, etc. So because I have a larger platform, I wanted to make sure that I was doing my best to try to advocate for you guys. So make sure that you do your part. Head over to that link that Michael can post in the chat box and sign the petition. I posted it late last night at about 10 p.m. and it already has about 5,000 signatures. Additionally, the other thing that I want you to do before I get into all the questions, is I want you to open the YouTube video for that petition and leave me 5 comments on it. YouTube suggests videos to viewers. Like when you watch a full video, at the end of the video, it will tell you, watch this video next, and it'll suggest it. It's going to get suggested and viewed by more people that will also want to sign the more comments and activities it has. So please support it in that way. All right, I'm going to get into the questions now, starting at 4:00 p.m. So as a reminder, my chat box opens at 4 o'clock. So any questions before that, I don't see. So you'll need to retype them every 15 minutes. And I can't get all of them. So I do skip around, but I get as many as I can. Re-ask it every 15 minutes. All right, Scotty. Hi, Scotty. Why did EDD mail me a notice that I filed a new unemployment claim with my last employer as Chuck E. Cheese? No way that is possible, as it hasn't been a year since first filing in March. They could have received your hiring. I know that you were just hired there a few months back, and they most likely received the hiring notice that your employer is required to submit to the EDD. So I can't tell you because I don't know the exact language of the letter that you received, but my guess is that they simply received that paperwork from your current employer. But I can't say why they're telling you that you filed a new claim. So I would just check UI Online dashboard, make sure that everything looks in order there. And then I would check in with your HR department, whoever's in charge of your payroll, who did your paperwork when you first came in. And I would take that notice to them, and I would just make sure that they are all good on their end in HR with you so that you are proactive about it. All right. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Lynn. If I have an existing claim, how is the start date of a new claim that Israel filed determined? Let me guess. what you mean. If you have an existing claim and then you want to start a new claim. So if you have an existing claim, UI, PEUC, Fed Ed, you have to wait 12 full months from your claim start date before you can file a new claim. So look at your start date, count 12 months after that. That's the point in time that you can file a new claim, and that would be the start date for your new claim, would be 12 months after, because that's the earliest that you can file. You can file and be awarded a new claim if you have earnings within the last 18 months. And if it's enough earnings, it has to be within a 12-month base period. That's sometime within that 18 months. All right, Bree at 4 o'clock. Does anyone know how to get a hold of a live representative? Yes, so Michael is going to drop in the chat box for you the 134. If you use it repeatedly, then it still has a pretty good success rate, but it does take a lot of trying. It's going to drop the 25 phone numbers to call EDD in case you need to call a department like the ID department or tech services, etc. And then he's going to drop in there a link for Claimer, which is a third-party service. If you want to pay someone to send you a hold line, that one works. And he's going to drop the link on how to locate your assembly member. You cannot get through to EDD. If you don't want to use a service like Claimer, contact your assembly member. They will be able to act as a liaison between you and the EDD. They're going to take your customer account number, social security number, and have you sign a form. And then they're going to communicate with their EDD liaison and work on your claim on your behalf. So do that if you cannot get through. All right, Logan at 4:01. Should I wait till my back date post before I certify on Sunday, or certifying have a time limit? Okay, so you have to certify within 30 days. Otherwise, your account goes dormant, and then you have to reopen your claim. So if you wait over 30 days to certify, then you'll have to go through a reopen claim process, which can take a few weeks. So don't do it within that 30-day window. Now, your backdate request can take anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. So don't wait on that to certify. Your backdating retroactive weeks are going to, are going to come through on a separate round of certifications. Once your backdating is approved within like 1 to 2 weeks after approval, then they will send you backdated certification. So don't wait to certify. Just certify for everything you have available. All right. Did that one. Okay. 404. I'm PUA and my benefit year ends 9/4, but I still have a claim balance. Does that mean I get paid out? What happens to that money? You're very welcome. No, you do not get paid out your entire claim balance because you have a 9/4 end date. That tells me that you are a PUA claimant. PUA expires after claim week ending September 4th. So September 4th, the day after that, or your regular certification date, if you're on a different cycle for certification, you're going to certify, collect that last week on for that 9/4 week, and then that's your final payment for PUA. PUA ends after that. So no, any remaining balance is not going to be paid out to you. The program will end. Motown says, sign the petition. Yes, please. You guys, as you are dropping questions in the chat box, I know it takes a long time for me to get to your questions. So as you're listening, if you can open up that petition in another browser, Michael can drop the link again. You can sign it, and then you can also click over to that video and just drop me a million comments in that video during this live stream to help it be more widely reached to more people, to help it get more traction. Thank you. I appreciate that. But Motown, you don't need to drop all the comments here. That just clogs up the chat. Motown, go drop them in the petition video, my friend. Okay, Martin, hello. Mike D. Ginny, I got an award letter till 2022. I made income within 18 months. Will I receive another 26 weeks? Yes, you will. You got an award letter. Your next year ends 2022. Congratulations. You have another round of UI. Regular UI does not end. Regular UI is statewide unemployment benefits. It's not a pandemic program. So you're going to receive 26 weeks of unemployment benefits. All right. Viper, thank you very much. Hi, Julie. Thank you, Ruben. All right, Z at 4:05. My first claim ended in June. I filed a new claim. I reported wages to the EDD to open my claim. I got put in the claim and it's marked as a UI. Will I be able to certify after September 4th and get paid? Yes, you too. Just like Mike D, like I just went over with him, you were awarded a new claim. It's marked UI. You were awarded a new 26-week claim. Yes, that will continue. You will be able to certify. Okay. Get back up here to the right spot. Okay. Chase Michael at 4:06. Hi, Ginny. I received this message from my assembly person today. Constituent's record shows that she didn't have any missing payments since claim was filed with PUA benefit year. I don't think they understand. I received my first payment late November and was wanting to backdate all months. Okay, so if you want to backdate, don't contact your assembly member. You're going to go to askedd.edd.ca.gov. You're then going to file the backdating request yourself there. I have a video on how to backdate your claim. You can find it on my channel homepage, or maybe Michael can drop the link if he's not telling someone to be kind to me or muting someone. All right, Julie, 4:06. Okay, sharing your opinion. XVals, 4:06. I applied for back pay going on 2 weeks Monday, and I can't even get in touch with them over the phone. Does it normally take this long? What should I do? Yes, it does take that long. But there is no definitive time frame. For some people, they backdate a claim and it takes 1 to 2 weeks. For some people, they backdate a claim and it takes a couple of months. So there's no way to exactly know. Make sure that you submitted the request properly through Ask EDD. As long as you submitted it, next you're just going to wait. You can follow up with them over the phone if you want to try to keep calling in. You can use the 134 trick. You can use Claimer, which will definitely send you a hold line if you want to go that route. But it's only been 2 weeks for you, and unfortunately, it can take a couple of months. So I would continue to wait. All right, Jacob. I already filled out PUA claim form in May. So do I just wait? Which claim, an application or like the biweekly certifications? If you filed an application back in May, that should have already been processed by now. Applications take up to 3 weeks to process. And then once they have you certified for that claim, where you answer the questions that make you eligible for benefits that specific week, then you can be pending for another 3 weeks while they do additional fraud checks on your claim. But that was back in May. Things should be moving for you. So I would contact your assembly member. Michael can drop the link in the chat box on how to locate them, and hopefully they can help you to communicate with the EDD and get things moving. Okay, ES Vines, 407. If one can't provide the proof of being self-employed due to not having a Schedule C because of making less than $400, I think that's the end of your question. So if you can't provide, if you claimed self-employment income on your application, and it's below $400, so it's technically a hobby, that's not technically self-employment income then if you're not claiming it as such. But you would, if you're looking for other documentation to prove your self-employment, then if you could submit, the Department of Labor states in their guidelines that you can submit a business license, a business plan, or other documents such as that. So if you have a seller's permit, etc. So go for your legal documents then. If you didn't make that much to claim it on your taxes, but you are in fact a legal business, then send in your documentation, your business license, seller's permit, etc. Okay, KMO at 406. PUA is dead on arrival. It never really arrived is what it is. There was never really an extension on the table for that. What we had was the Treasury Secretary and the Department of Labor Secretary issued out a letter, and then they reissued out that letter through the White House as well, stating that if states had enough remaining funds in the American Rescue Plan state and local allocation then they could choose to use that for additional weeks. California does not have additional funds. It's all been allocated. I wrote to the Department of Finance and they wrote back to me and they linked me to the proper publication and they told me in writing that all of those funds have been allocated. I did a video on that. Now, I do have a petition out currently that I'm sending over to the governor because they need to address it directly. They need to address that letter. They need to explain people's questions because we're reaching the end of this cliff. And that has not been publicly addressed. And it also voices the preference to reallocate some funds, if possible, to extend things. So go sign that petition. All right. Baby Chill at 407. I have not paid, not paid, and then paid, all in successive order from January. Do you think I can get those not paid pushed through? It was PEUC. I sure hope you can. That's really a weird pattern. I'm not sure why they would have moved to not paid. Usually when we see not paid, frequently when we see not paid, it's because a claim expired and someone continued to certify on that expired claim before filing a new one, and all those pendings moved to not paid. So it'd be a bigger chunk. Because you have that weird pattern, it tells me that's probably something different. Either you are claiming income or something triggered a stop payment alert, like maybe you're saying that you're not able to accept full-time work because you're caring for someone, etc. So you're going to have to contact either the EDD directly or you're going to need to contact your assembly member. If it were me, I would go straight to your assembly member because they have been more efficient than calling in. Baby Chill, you're very welcome. It's not Baby Chill, it's Baby Chili. I'm sorry. Get your name right. All right. Victoria Lane at 408. I just certified for my first payment on my UI page on Sunday and submitted the back date on Wednesday. Is it possible to be processed before the 9/4 deadline? You don't need to worry about that. So they are going to still process your backdating requests. Technically, I do not advise waiting this long. Don't advise it, but technically you should be able to still submit a backdating request as late as October 6th and still have your weeks backdated. The Department of Labor and EDD have stated that they will continue to process new PUA claims and backdated weeks up until 30 days after the end date of PUA, which is October 6th. So don't worry, you submitted the backdated request on time. I would just make sure that that was submitted properly, and then you will be okay. They do not have to process it before 9/4 because it's effective for those weeks before, and you have time to do it after it expires anyway. Okay. 408. Would UI get extended or just PEUC and other pandemic-related ones, assuming it gets extended? Okay, so it is unlikely that the programs will be extended, but if programs are extended, regular state UI continues. It goes on. That doesn't end. You get 26 weeks of benefits if you qualify for a regular unemployment claim. What it expires is PEUC and PUA. PEUC is the extension for regular unemployment. So during the pandemic, you would collect regular unemployment, and then when that goes down to 0, then you would go on to a PEUC extension. So it is for regular UI. It just has a name because it's a different program for the pandemic. So if something were to be extended, which is unfortunately unlikely currently, then PEUC would extend UI. Okay. Armano at 408. On September 4th, my PU, I think you mean A, ends, but I still get state EDD. Am in California? Okay. So if you're PUA, pandemic unemployment assistance, that means that you either had limited work history, not enough to qualify for a regular claim or a promise to start a job, or you were self-employed. PUA is going to end September 4th. In order to qualify for a regular UI unemployment claim, you would have to have earned wages, employee wages, sometime within the last 18 months. And you have to have at least $1,400 within a 12-month period of that time span. So if you did work and earn wages, when PUA expires after September 4th, then yes, in that case, you would be able to file a new regular unemployment claim because you had employee wages. Mr. P at 4:08. Claim started for 2020 due to being furloughed. November 2020, laid off due to elimination of position and given severance, 8 weeks pay over 16 weeks, was on PEUC extension. I don't see, oh, okay, there it is. Severance was paid 1/3, ending December. EDD counted the severance as income, and that was applied to my new UI claim, thus lowering my benefit amount. Okay, I'm not going to keep looking for all the different threads of this. Okay, so if they decreased your amount because you received severance pay, you need to contact the EDD directly. I can't tell you in full certainty if they're going to count your severance pay against either your weekly benefit award amount or your weekly payout amount. You need to contact them directly for that because they're going to have to verify that and cross-reference it against what your employer provided to the EDD. So there could be a discrepancy there. But I would contact the EDD directly. Use the 134 trick. Use your assembly member if you can't get through. Do you hear the screams in the distance? My 3-year-old. Okay. But yes, contact your assembly member if you cannot get through. All right, Cheryl, 408. I get happy whenever I see the name Cheryl because it was my mom's name. And I lost my mom, how long ago? 11 years ago, 12 years ago. So that name makes me smile. All right, I'm asking for info regarding my claim. I'm 68 years old. I work part-time. I'm on disability, also from SSI. Now I haven't been paid in 2 months, and they haven't given me a reason why. Okay, so let's see. You work part-time and you're on disability, SSI. Okay, so in order to receive unemployment pay, you have to be able and willing to accept full-time work. So if you are not physically able to accept full-time work, that would be a reason why you would not be able to collect those payments. So without knowing what your disability is it something that you can accept full-time work? If you selected no on your certifications, or if they are already awarding you disability, then you would not be able to collect unemployment most likely. So I'm guessing that that's the reason why. Now, I am not educated in SSI, so I cannot comment there. If you are collecting SSI, are you able to collect unemployment? I can't tell you that. That's one question that I don't know the answer to without looking it up. So for you, Cheryl, I would contact the EDD. However, the EDD is very difficult to get through. So right now, I want you to look in the chat box, and my assistant, Michael, is going to post a link there. You can click on the link, and that will show you how to contact your assembly member for your district. Contact your assembly member, tell them exactly what you told me, and they should be able to help you figure out what's going on with your claim because they are able to talk to the EDD. Now, they are going to ask you when you call your assembly member's office for your social security number and for your customer account number. So don't be alarmed by that. They need that in order to communicate about your claim. Okay, Rick Rivera, if I was sick with COVID for the last month and obviously didn't look for work, will I be penalized for it? So you do not have to note on your certifications that you had COVID. On the certification form, it says, were you sick with something? And then in some way, it's escaping me exactly how, but in some way it states not COVID related because that's a pandemic related reason. It's approved. So you don't have to claim it. You can still say that, yes, you were able and willing to accept work because the COVID reason is a waived reason there. Now, you should still select that, yes, you looked for work, and then just pull up a job board. That's all you have to do. You don't have to apply. You don't have to do anything else. You simply need to look at a job board and say that, yes, you looked for work. Okay. Unless you're Fed Ed. And then you need to list 3 places that you did look for work. Okay. Where do I sign the petition? Michael can drop the link in the chat box. Scotty, okay, what is, scrolling down. I have 6 weeks pending. When will these be paid out? Does EDD have a deadline for paying me? Yes, they do. So if you were paid 1 unemployment payout or more on your current claim previously, and you've been pending for over 2 weeks, the EDD has to pay out those pending payments with what's called a conditional payment. They have to do this by September 30th. This was ordered from a class action settlement, so they have to do it by September 30th. That can take quite a while. So if you are still pending, I would contact either the EDD directly or your assembly member. Assembly members have been extremely helpful in getting my subscribers pushed from pending to paid. So I would try that if you don't want to wait. All right, 410. Let's see. Hi, Ginny. This is an odd question, as so many benefits expire on the 4th. That's the same day I'm moving. Once I update my address in UI Online, do you think this will cause an issue due to bad timing? Okay, so anytime you change your address, unfortunately, it can cause a delay in getting stuck in pending and then having to verify your address. Address changes, you have to declare them, but unfortunately, it's one of those things that trips up their system, and then they have to get verifying documents from you once again, etc. So I would unfortunately expect to have those weeks go into pending. They may ask you for additional documentation to verify your address. You will be owed those weeks once things do finally get straightened out. And if it takes over 2 weeks to go from pending to having things back up and running, then I would contact your assembly member. I need a drink. And then I'll do this one. Okay. Why is EDD doing a reassessment program for weeks previously denied prior to September 4th? Is this because EDD denied everyone who was originally not unemployed due to COVID, but was when regular unemployment benefits ran out? I don't understand your question. I'm sorry. So they're not necessarily doing something to everyone with this. If they're contacting you, I'm not sure if you're reassessment program. Are you talking about RESEA, or are you talking about they're reassessing your eligibility? Like maybe they're doing an eligibility interview. Jam, I'm not quite sure what you're asking here. So I really can't answer this one. I'm sorry. Contact the EDD, contact your assembly members if you're not sure about something with your claim. All right, Hildy, how do I know when my phone interview is? I'm scheduled one according to what the person helping me from the assembly member's office. Okay, so the EDD should notify you when your phone appointment is going to be. They should put a notification on your UI Online dashboard or mail you documentation of this. However, many subscribers have reported that the EDD calls without actually notifying them of an appointment. So look for it in UI Online, check your mail, check your emails, text messages, etc. But have your phone on you all the time. Don't miss that phone call. Sometimes it comes unannounced. Okay, Gloria at 412. How can I get the amounts I could not certify because EDD verification? I'm getting unemployment because I applied again on April 21st, but I need January, February, March, April. Okay, did you file your new application late? Is that the problem? Maybe you had an expired claim and then either you certified on that expired claim and they were all pending, or is it delayed for another reason? Regardless, if you're on a brand new claim, you should be able to backdate that brand new claim. You can try using askedd.edd.ca.gov and you can submit the backdating request there. I have a video on how to do that on my channel homepage if you just search for backdate. Additionally, you can call into the EDD and do this through customer service, or if you can't get through, you can contact your assembly member, but I would try backdating on Ask EDD first. There's a lot of backdating questions today. Can I backdate my claim if I'm on PEUC Tier 2 augmentation? Possibly, if you're entitled to it. If you had a start date for your unemployment that is not accurately reflected in your claim, you may be able to backdate it. Now, you may also be denied that backdating if you have waited too long and it's too far back and it changes your claim. When you file for a backdate, it shifts the base period. The base period is the 12-month period prior to being unemployed, where they look at how many wages or self-employment income you earned during that time frame. They then base your weekly benefit award amount on that base period. If you backdate, you shift the base period, and sometimes people will get denied because it changes their claim too much. So try submitting it, see if it's approved. If it's denied, then try submitting it again with a date that's a little bit closer to your actual claim date. Okay, 413. I got approved for my back pay almost a month ago. Still haven't received my weeks to certify. What should I do? Yes, you will get it. I do think that it's coming. Sometimes they can take a few months to issue those weeks. You can contact your assembly member or you can contact customer service, but they are coming and it does take some time, unfortunately. All right, I'm at 413. I have regular UI tier 2. What will happen? Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, if you have regular unemployment, but you're on tier 2 of PEUC extension, PEUC ends after claim week ending September 4th. So you're going to certify for claim week ending September 4th on either the 5th or your next certification date, whenever that is. You'll get paid for that week. And then after that, if you qualify for a Fed Ed extension, then you will be automatically moved over to that for one remaining week of Fed Ed. Fed Ed expires September 11th. After that, then your benefits have ended until you reach the end of your benefit year, 12 months after your claim start date. If you worked within the last 18 months after your benefit year expires and you earned wages, then you may qualify for a new unemployment claim. So you would file a brand new claim after you reach the end of that benefit year end date. Okay, Melrose Honey, I see you here. Yes, the questions start at 4 o'clock. So I don't see anything before that in the chat box. Additionally, I'm happy to see you here, but I can't see all of the questions. So Melrose, please re-ask it in the chat box down below, and hopefully I will see it when I get down in the chat. Thank you, Debbie. Esther, my payments are pending. Will I still get my payment after it's over? Yes. As long as you are eligible for those payments, they aren't on an expired claim that wasn't migrated to a new claim, or you aren't deemed ineligible for some reason, then yes, you're entitled to those. And the EDD will continue paying those out as long as they are weeks prior to September 4th. They will continue paying those out up until September 30th for those pending conditional payments. And you can call your assembly member to get them pushed through faster in many cases. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. When will the conditional payments come out for pending payments? Conditional payments can come at any point in time as long as you are eligible. If you have one unemployment payment that you have received or more on your claim, and i.e. it's not a brand new claim, and you have been waiting over 2 weeks in pending, then the EDD will issue out conditional payments. They have up until September 30th to do this for currently pending claims. Contact your assembly member if you want them pushed through faster. Marie at 413, I'm PEUC and my claim has been pending, but started working part-time in April. Can I collect those pending items from back in December until when you started working? Yes, you can. So if you are stuck in pending for those weeks, I want you to contact your assembly member. Michael is going to drop the link in the chat box on how to do that. Contact them, let them know, and then they should be able to, in most cases, help you with that. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm at 419. As a reminder, I do not get all of the questions. There are too many. I can't do that. So if I do skip your question, which yes, I do have to skip many questions, re-ask it every 15 minutes, and hopefully I will get you on the next round. All right, message for approved extension on old claim. What is going to happen with disqualified weeks? Disqualified weeks. Okay, so disqualified is a final decision. You're going to have to contact the EDD about anything that says disqualified or not paid. Contact the EDD directly. Use Claimer to get through. Michael can drop the discount link in the chat box. Use 134 phone trick if you want to redial yourself. or contact your assembly member. Yes, we're almost at 5K signatures for that petition. Keep adding comments to that video, please. It'll help YouTube to share it more. Jason Reyes at 419. Good afternoon. PEUC Tier 2 ends after September 4th. Too many articles giving conflicting information. Will PEUC Tier 2 go to FedEd? Yes, I have videos on that. My channel homepage. I have it confirmed in writing from the EDD personally sent to me, which I have in a video as well. PEUC is going to end September 4th. If you qualify for FedEd, EDD will automatically move you over to FedEd for one remaining week, which is up until September 11th. There might be a delay. I say might, but I mean will. Expect a delay in them migrating you over to that week, and you'll get that 1 week until FedEd ends September 11th. Okay, J&M, my claim, I'm at 423. My claim was June 13th. I got fired on June 15th. I got paid for all my certifications except for first week. Will I get paid for the first week, even if a prorated amount or no? Okay, so claim started June 13th. You got fired on the 15th. Fired? Were you fired? Like, that sounded judgy, but it's not judgy. Were you terminated for a reason that was no fault of your own, or were you terminated for something such as misconduct, etc.? If you were terminated due to no fault of your own, then you are eligible for benefits. But if you were fired, you said fired, so to me that has a negative connotation, then you would not be eligible for benefits. Now, you got paid all of your certifications except for the first week. Will you get paid? No, you will not get a prorated amount. So EDD does full weeks. It doesn't do prorated amounts. Okay. 425. EDD claim 14K balance and pending. Name and need to reopen. Help. Okay. So if you're pending and you need to reopen, when was the last time you certified? If you certified and it has been beyond 30 days since that last certification, then yes, click the reopen claim button. The claim will close after a period of 30 days of not certifying. Then click it. But if it has been less than that, then the reopen claim button is a glitch, and clicking it is just going to send that button in a button loop, coming back to your claim over and over again. If that's the case, then you need to contact the EDD customer service department. They have to remove the button themselves and then give you the ability to certify. Now, if you are stuck in pending, you can contact the EDD, or you can contact your assembly member to get that pushed through faster. Okay, let's see. El Toro, thank you. X-Vals, you said it could take months, but the PUA ends on the 4th. Also, I have a friend that wants to know if you can still apply today for PUA, and will you get paid after the 4th? So PUA covered weeks end claim week ending September 4th. That's the last payable week. However, they are accepting PUA applications up until October 6th. I would not wait that long to do it. I would do it now. But they have stated in a recent news release, as well as on their federal provisions page on their website, that they will continue accepting PUA applications up until 30 days after the program expires, which is October 6th. Now, it doesn't mean that PUA claims get paid for those dates. It means that they get paid for those backdated weeks that are within the PUA time period up until September 4th. Could take months. Yes, so if they are processing backdated claim applications, etc., it can take several weeks to several months for them to process those and pay those out. They're going to continue to make those payouts until they're completed, as long as they are for claim weeks that are within the program dates, meaning before September 4th. Albert Ramirez. Hi, Albert. I'm at 426. I want to say thank you. I really appreciate that. El Toro, thank you. Martin at 427. Filed a new claim because my claim year ended. Claim got denied, and so will my PEUC extension continue? Yes. So if you filed a new claim, it was denied because you did not earn enough wages. Next, about a week later, you'll receive an extension letter for PEUC It's going to seem misleading though. It's going to state that you've been awarded, depending on the phase, either 13 weeks, 11 weeks, or 29 weeks. That is not the case. PEUC ends September 4th. So you'll be able to collect your PEUC extension that is newly awarded up until September 4th for all the weeks leading up to September 4th, and then it's going to end regardless of claim balance. So for those of you that are just now switching over to a new tier of an extension or a PEUC, you're reaching 0, you're getting extended, you're going to receive award notices for PEUC that are misleading. They're going to state a big claim balance, but you can only collect that up until September 4th. So please be aware of that. Okay. All right, got it. All right, BB at 427. Will people still get paid for pending payments after the phone interview if qualified for benefits? Yes. So you're going to get a conditional payment, which should come through by September 30th, and then you have to still conduct your phone interview if you're required to do one. Once you have your phone interview, as long as you are still eligible, you keep that conditional payment. They're not going to pay you twice. So I don't think that's what you're asking, but I'm going to just address that just in case. Now, if they find you ineligible on your phone interview, they take that conditional payment back. So make sure, number one, that you do not miss your phone interview, that you know when it is if they send you an appointment date, and that you answer all of your calls at the whole duration that you're waiting for a phone interview, because sometimes the EDD does not notify you in advance. So please make sure you answer your calls and are available for that interview. Okay, 427, Lori, you can collect Social Security and unemployment at the same time. Data on EDD site confirms this. Thank you for sharing, because that question did come up and I did not have an answer for it. I appreciate that. Okay, scrolling down. Albert Ramirez, 429. I really do think that they will continue the benefit. Okay, giving your opinion. Is there a question? Okay. Let's see. 430. I'm on PUA. My claim ends 9/4, but I've received self-employment wages in the last 18 months. Should I apply for regular UI or wait for my PUA to end 9/4? Regular UI is only applicable to employee wages. Employee wages, not self-employment income. Why? Self-employment income is taxed differently. Self-employment income is Social Security and Medicare taxes. When you pay self-employment taxes on your tax return, that's what you pay. That's what self-employment tax is. Self-employment tax does not include unemployment insurance payments. Unemployment insurance payments are taxed and paid out through the employer's payroll. So regularly, self-employed individuals don't qualify for any form of unemployment benefits because they don't pay into that system. So no, unfortunately, if what you had in the last 18 months was self-employment income, you do not qualify to file a new claim. I'm sorry. Okay, 430. You're very welcome. If we had a balance left on our claim before September 4th, my next certification is on the 12th. Okay, so you're going to certify for claim week ending September 4th on your next certification date. It doesn't matter when you certify for that week. You're going to be paid for claim week ending September 4th. So for those of you that are worried that you're certifying on the 5th or on the 12th, or even a couple days after your regular certification date, it doesn't matter, because it's for an effective week of payment that is within that covered period before September 4th. So you're going to receive that payment. Now, what you're not going to receive is your remaining balance after September 4th. No, you cannot continue to collect if you have a remaining balance on PEUC, PUA. You can't. You also cannot receive that as a lump sum. All right, Marcia at 431. Okay, your assemblywoman helped you. Good, I'm really glad to hear that. Okay, Steve at 431. If I backdate my claim, will I get paid? Possibly. Are you eligible for backdating? Did you lose your employment or self-employment on that date? Can you prove it? And well, 2/2, when did you apply? If you applied 12/26 or earlier, then you potentially could be approved for as early as 2/2. But if you applied 12/27 or later, then you can only backdate as early as 12/6. Additionally, That is a very far back date now, because now we're in at the end of August. If you try to backdate that far back, it could potentially be rejected because it would change your claim too much. If it changes your claim, it changes your base period, it changes the amount of wages you earned before going on unemployment too much, then it could be denied. So give it a try if it applies to you, and see if it is rejected or approved. Okay, I already answered that one. Ocean Blue, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I do really love you guys. I'm very appreciative of you guys and your support here. Okay, let's see, 431, been pending for 4 weeks now. Emailed an aide at my assembly member's office about a week ago. Haven't heard back yet. How long does it usually take? Will it make a difference after 9/4? Okay, so it differs. There's 80 different assembly members, and all their offices operate differently. All of them have a different amount of helpfulness, of resources, depending on how much attention they have allocated in their specific office to helping claimants. Now, many people will, let's see, did you give me a time? You contacted them a week ago. If you contacted them a week ago and they did not give an initial reply, such as, thank you, we've received your email, etc., then I would send in another email, or I would call, just to make sure that you cover your bases, that it wasn't dumped in their spam folder, etc. But if they reply back, thank you, we've received this, it's going to take anywhere from 2 days to 6 weeks, then I would continue to wait until they get back to you. Why? Because the assembly members aren't EDD workers. They're staff members that are helping EDD claimants aren't EDD workers. They are helping constituents to communicate with the EDD. So they have to talk to their liaison once a week at EDD to talk about their claimants. So I would give it a few weeks, but make sure that you do confirm that they received your message. Okay, 432. Thank you, I really appreciate that. All right, Amelia at 432. I certify on September 11th. Do I still receive my benefit in the $300? Yes, you do. You will qualify to receive your payout for claim week ending September 4th, regardless of when you certify for it, as long as it's done in a timely manner. Okay, I already did that one. Ash at 433. I keep getting a failed new claim when I go into my account to certify. What does that mean? That is not an error notice that many people report. I can't tell you. Now, it sounds like failed claim. So if you're trying to submit your biweekly certification, it's not going through. It sounds like it's a technical issue. So I would try a few different things. Number one, I would try when you log into UI Online, clicking the mobile site option. There's a regular desktop site, and then if you scroll down, you can click on mobile site. That site is a lot less glitchy than the regular site, surprisingly, and you can access it from a regular computer as well. So try that. Next, I would try using a different browser, such as Chrome, Firefox, etc. Like switch your browser type. Then I would try using an incognito tab, or what else is it called? Secret tab, or whatever you call it, where it pulls up a separate browser. So I would try doing that. Many people have reported that that works. And then if you still can't do that, then I would contact tech support. And that phone number is located in my 25 phone numbers to call EDD video. Don't call customer service, call tech support. And Michael can drop that link in the chat box. Okay, I'm at 433. What will happen to people that are on PUA after September 4th? PUA ends after September 4th. So currently there are no extensions for anything. PEUC, PUA, FedEd, those all end. PUA will end after September 4th. Okay, Patricia, 433. What can I do to get my money? Assembly members are no help. Well, in most cases, they are helpful, but they can't necessarily fix all of the issues. So I don't know what your problem is here. So I can't really advise you on what to do because I don't know your problem. But in general, you are going to need to contact with the communicate with either the EDD or your assembly member to fix your problems. If your assembly member didn't reply to you and that's the problem, if you email them, then call them. And if you called them, then email them. If they replied, but they're going to take several weeks to get back to you, you do have to wait because they aren't EDD workers. They're communicating with the EDD on your behalf. So I would continue to wait for that. If they aren't replying to you at all, then and you've already tried several times, then you can try contacting Lorena Gonzalez's office. Look her up on Twitter and locate her office information. They have been, in many cases, helping anyone that calls into their office that can't get help from their regular district. So you can try going that route, and then you can contact the EDD directly using the 134 phone trick. You can use Claimer if you want to, or you can try the 25 phone numbers to call EDD. Okay. Just came on a news on your petition. So a petition, so I posted a poll in my community forum, and I asked my subscribers, what do you want me to work on this week? Because I'm kind of strapped for time. Help me narrow it down. And people overwhelmingly wanted me to create a petition to voice the need to extend benefits, a request for communication about these things that should be communicated about, these questions that remain after this Treasury letter came out, etc. So I created it. I will send it to the governor's office once it gets more signatures. However, a petition, especially from a random YouTuber, isn't going to get you guys an extension necessarily. What it does, let's be realistic about it, and I did write this in the petition video as well. What a petition does is it's not going to change something just because we get a certain number of signatures. What it does is it brings attention to the issue, and it makes your voices amplified. So because I have a larger platform, because news stations contact me regularly, because I have connections with certain news station reporters, because I have connections with other people in that specific field of work, it can get more attention, and it can help to put pressure on the situation to get answers, etc. So it's more so for bringing awareness and for advocating for you guys so that you have your voices heard from someone who can communicate them on your behalf, and try to get some answers, even if they aren't necessarily going to fix everything for you. So that is the status on that. All right. Okay, you're very welcome. All right, 435, Jameson. Ginny, do you recommend changing my address on UI Online, even though I've found a job now and don't intend to collect benefits? I'm on PUA. So they're going to be sending you a 1099-G tax form at the end of the year. They will need to do it online in your dashboard, and they'll send it there. So as long as you check your UI Online dashboard for that tax form at tax time, you don't necessarily have to have it mailed to you. As long as you are not still collecting benefits, and you don't plan on collecting benefits and reopening that claim in the future, then you don't necessarily need to change that because you have already closed out your benefit claim by not certifying. Okay, I'm at 436. Okay. You said it could take, we already did this question. Scrolling down. My year expires 2022. Last date I worked was January 15th. My claim says UI. I don't know what your question is. I'm sorry. All right, Anne, how long is it currently taking to process a new claim? New claims take up to 3 weeks to be processed, according to the info provided by the EDD. Some claimants report longer. If it takes over 3 weeks, then I would contact your assembly member. All right, 436. Hi, Ginny, my extension exhausted. I had some payment pending and they went to disqualification and others not paid. Will I get another extension? Okay, so if your extension went all the way down to 0, you would receive the next tier of a PEUC extension, usually about 1 week after you reach a $0 balance. You receive the award letter, and then the following week, you usually would be able to certify. However, your payments are saying disqualified and not paid. So something else is going on with your claim there. I want you to make sure that you don't need to file a new claim, because oftentimes when you're required to file a new claim, if you don't and you certify on an expired claim, then those will go to not paid or disqualified. So if your UI, PEUC, or Fed Ed, when your claim starts, count 12 months out. That's the end of your benefit year. You are going to file a new claim when you reach the end of your benefit year if you have worked and earned income within the last 12 months. So make sure that that's not the problem for you, because you would need to take that action before you are able to get paid again. If that's not the problem, then I would contact your EDD customer service using the phone tips that Michael can drop in the chat box, or you can contact your assembly member because not paid or disqualified, you're going to need to get some help in order to fix. Okay, I'm gonna do that first. I'm at 447. My PUA claim was made before the 12/27 cutoff. Can I backdate to 2/2 or will the cutoff be 12/6? Your claim was made before 12/27, then you potentially could backdate as early as 2/2 as long as you are qualified to do so. You did lose your employment at that point in time, and it doesn't change your claim too much. If it changes your weekly benefit award amount because you're backdating that far back and your base period of wages 12 months before your claim start date was very different, that would essentially put you into overpayments. So they would deny it for that reason. So submit it and see if it is approved or denied. Okay, Jack at 445. Okay, thank you for signing the petition. Okay, what would be a good date to put for backdated claim? Just want to know, but I put December 6th. Then without them even emailing me, I did it again for February 14th. Did I do it wrong? You have a unique claim. You have a unique wage or self-employment income history. I can't tell you the date to backdate your claim. I can tell you the guidelines from the EDD in terms of the potential earliest date, but when to backdate is going to be according to your own unique situation. Now, you can backdate your claim as early as 2/2 if you filed your unemployment claim 12/26 or earlier. You can backdate as early as 12/6 if you filed your unemployment claim 12/27 or later. Hi, Richie. Did that one. Okay, if I have a balance left on my claim before September 4th because my next certification is on the 12th, do I still receive it? You are only going to be paid for claim weeks up until September 4th. Any weeks after that, you will not be paid for. So you're only going to receive payment up until claim week ending September 4th. All right, Nicole at 446. I'm on PUA claim, work part-time, but now I cannot access my work due to the Calder fire. I'm sorry to hear that. Should I reapply for a new claim? So you are going to be on disaster assistance, not PUA, but actual real disaster assistance because you were affected by a natural disaster. So now you can't access your work. You can continue certifying on your PUA claim, but it could potentially go into pending, disqualified, not paid, and you don't want to submit a false statement because technically it's not a COVID reason. So when you certify, some of the questions aren't necessarily going to line up with a PUA claim. If it were me, I like to do everything by the books because I don't want any unexpected overpayments, bills, etc. So I would contact EDD, let them know the situation, and then have them migrate you over to disaster assistance. Now, PUA is noted as disaster assistance if you look at the claim and program type, but there is an internal different way of notifying it, noting it in their system because PUA, even though it's noted as disaster assistance, is different from regular disaster assistance. You do not need to have your benefits end September 4th if you are in a wildfire because that falls under disaster assistance. So I would contact the EDD so that you don't lose your benefits September 4th because you're affected by the wildfires. That's a different category. Okay, Ann R. At 447. Hi, Ginny. Since March, I've been unable to reopen my claim. I'm so overwhelmed. And another thing, my account was compromised. I've had my EDD account PIN changed where I was not able to get into it. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. So you can't reopen your claim. You're going to need to contact customer service. Use all the call tips that Michael is going to drop in the chat box. You can use the 134 trick if you want to redial yourself. You can use Claimer if you want to pay a service in order to get the hold line to call you, or you can contact your assembly member. Okay, Michael at 447. My California unemployment is ending September 4th. I had worked for 2.5 months last year and lost my job due to COVID-19 in New York. Can I apply for New York unemployment? Yes. So if you worked in a different state, you would not be applying to California unemployment because those wages, if they were within the last 18 months, are going to qualify you for a new unemployment claim. But it's going to be in a different state because you worked and paid taxes on that income in a different state. So yes, you would need to apply in the state in which the wages were earned. Okay, Paul at 447. I got a few questions, but I will, okay, just watch because, okay, thank you. Ryan, 448. Hi, Ginny. My PUA payments started in 11/2020, but I stated 2/2020 when my payments began, and I have a backdate balance owed. I made my backdate claim through Ask EDD 10 days ago. Yes, it will take longer than 10 days in most cases. It will take a couple weeks up to a couple months. So continue to wait on that. Okay, Misty Brown, after I drink this. My sister is owed 17 weeks for backdating, was stuck in pending because she's at a $0 balance at time of backdate granted. Then April made her file a new claim. Now she has a new claim and backdated weeks were not paid. Okay, so that claim reached a $0 balance. Depends what type of claim she was. If she's a regular UI claim, she's trying to backdate that claim, but she already used up the balance, then she wouldn't necessarily be entitled to that. It's a little tricky because if it's a regular UI claim and you're backdating that, a regular UI claim has 26 weeks. If she already hit a $0 balance on that, they're going to backdate that claim, which would make it longer than 26 weeks, which means that she has to be issued overpayments just to overpay whatever she was paid over 26 weeks and then backdate the PEUC extension to meet up there. So it's a big mess. So that is why that is coming in to be a problem. She will want to contact customer service to sort that out. I can't necessarily recommend anything for her otherwise because that is a bit of a mess. So contact customer service, use the call tips that Michael is posting in the chat box, the 134 trick, the assembly members, or claimer. Okay, don't be so polite. You're afraid of taking... I like to talk fast. I like to get as many questions as I can. All right, I'm not afraid. Daniel, I hope everybody here sign the petition and pass it on to others so we can show our governor in need we are. Thank you. You're very welcome. Yes, sign that. Comment on the video. I can't tell you guys how much commenting on the video really helps it to get more exposure. Okay, thank you. You're very welcome. And at 450, how does one get the unemployment compensation after filing taxes in 2020? I'm not quite sure what you're asking. How to file a new claim, maybe? So if you need to file a new claim, you're going to go to edd.ca.gov. You're going to click File a New Claim, and then you fill out the application there. So I think that's what you're asking. You're very welcome. Travis at 451. My benefits are set to expire on the September 4th. Should I make a new claim if I haven't worked in over a year? You will not be awarded a new claim unless you have wages within the last 18 months, employee wages, in the amount of $1,400 or higher within a 12-month period. So if you didn't work, then you're not going to qualify. So no, you would not file a new claim in that case, unfortunately. All right, Misty Brown at 451. Contacted local Senate and it's been 6 weeks, no update at all. I recommend contacting assembly members, not Senate. So Michael can drop that link. Okay, 451. I have to certify on the 5th of September. Benefit year ends on the 4th. Do I still certify? Yes, you do. How do I know what program I'm on? And also, do I file a new claim if I have the option to do so? Yes, you will certify on the 5th or on whatever certification date your date is. You're going to be paid for claim week ending September 4th. It doesn't matter what date you certify. You just have to certify for that week. So yes, certify. You're going to know what type of claim you have, right? That was your next question. By going to UI Online and clicking on the History tab, looking at your most recent paid transaction. In that paid transaction, it's going to say a program type, and then it's going to say UI for regular UI, FedEd for FedEd. If it says disaster assistance, you are PUA. If it says PEUC, that's the extension. If it says Tier 2, that's also PEUC. And if it says Tier 2 augmentation, that also is PEUC. Okay. Oh, wait, there was a Justine, I'll get you next, I promise. But there's another question here. Do I file a new claim if you have the option to do so? You will file a new claim if you worked and earned wages within the last 18 months. So, and you've reached the end of your benefit year, 12 months after your claim start date. All right, Justine, 451. My account's been on hold since April for verifying address. Sent my bank statements, but they disqualified me because the bank account statement was not accept it. What can I, not accepted. What can I do to get my money? Okay. I can't tell you why it wasn't accepted, but you're going to need to send in some sort of document that they do accept. So you're going to need to contact EDD customer service, see exactly what documentation they want from you, and then make sure that you send it in. They're not going to pay you until you verify that address. So make sure that you send in proper documentation that they're looking for. Okay, Daniel, 451. I really appreciate that. You're very welcome. All right, Anne, at 451, if our balance is going back to the government, then they will have our money. They should let us keep our balances and just deposit the rest on the 5th. So that's unfortunately not how the programs are written in the bill text. So they are not allowed to do that unless Congress writes a new bill or an amendment, votes it, passes it in both chambers, and then it's signed into law. But I know many share your opinion. Okay, Sandra at 452. I have 6 certifications pending. Sometimes I certify and I get paid, and then there's others I don't. Okay, so yes, you can be stuck in pending for a variety of different reasons. I have a pretty thorough video that goes through all the different reasons, but the bottom line is that you want to get paid. So if you're stuck in pending, the fastest way to fix those is to either contact EDD directly using the call tips that Michael's been sharing, or you can contact your assembly members. Okay, let's see. We are at, there I am. Anne at 451. If our balance is going back to the government, I just read that one. Sandra, we already got that one. Sorry, guys. Let's see, my email, 452. My original UI claim started in 1/2020. Then it got extended a few times until my last payment to 2021. I reapplied on 5/21 for EDD and was paid. I think that's a question. But there's more. I found it. You guys, these 2-parters really slow me down. It's been 18 total months so far, and 6 payments have been stuck on pending. Since then, it's $8,000 on my balance. Will I get paid? Well, now I got to go back to your first part. Got extended last payment in February. You reapplied in May on. Okay, I can't. I can't with the multiple comments. It doesn't work. So in general, if you have gaps in your payments, if you have not paid weeks, if you have disqualified weeks, you need to contact the EDD. There's no fixing it yourself unless it's a backdating issue. If you did not file a new claim after you reach the end of your benefit year and you were required to file a new claim, then you can fix it on Ask EDD by backdating your claim and try that first. But in all other cases, you have to contact the EDD directly, use the call tips, or contact your assembly member. All right, need a drink. Can I have the number for tech support? I don't have the phone number with me. You need to click the link that Michael's going to drop right now to the 25 phone numbers to call EDD. Watch that video. The phone number is in that video. Okay, Renee at 4:55. If PEUC ends and year benefit is not over, will I still get regular UI until my year benefit ends? No. So the way it works is that you will collect 26 weeks of regular unemployment benefits. After that, then you are moved over to a PEUC extension. PEUC, all 3 tiers of it, end September 4th. So after September 4th, if you qualify for Fed Ed extension, you'll receive 1 additional week of that up until September 11th, at which point in time Fed Ed ends. After that, until you reach the end of your benefit year, you can't file a new claim. So you would not have any additional benefits to collect until you reach the end of 12 months worth of benefits, the end of your benefit year, and then you can file a new claim if you worked and earned wages within the last 18 months. Okay, last 4:55. Exactly what Ginny just said about Assemblymember Lorena Gonzalez. When I contacted her office, I was told first to contact my own assembly member and give them time to help. Yes. Okay, Steve at 4:55. I have a claim created on May 10th. What date can I backdate it to? Okay, so you applied 5/10. You applied before the December 26th cutoff date. You could potentially backdate as early as 2/2, but it depends on your own unique earnings situation. If it's rejected, then, well, first, you can potentially backdate as early as 2/2 if you lost your employment that early. If you did lose your employment that early and it's rejected, then it's because there is too much of a difference in your earnings prior to being unemployed in that base period shift. So if it is rejected, then you will reapply for backdating a little bit closer to your actual claim start date. Okay. I am at 5:04. I'm trying to get in contact with the insurance department, but I can never get through. I need my claim reopened before the 9/4 end date. Okay, you should have a reopen claim button on your UI online dashboard. You should be able to click that button, and then it will ask you a few questions, and then within 2 weeks, your claim would be reopened. Now, if you need to call customer service because you're having trouble opening your claim, then you need to either put in a lot of effort. You try the 134 phone trick, or you can use Claimer, which is a service that sends you a hold line, and it does get you through. It protects you from dropped calls with callbacks when they drop you on, not Claimer, but when EDD drops your call. But it costs money. My link does save you $5. Or you can contact your assembly members, which is free, and they're able to contact the EDD on your behalf and communicate with them. So Michael can drop the link to all of those. James at 5:05. I just filed my unemployment on August 15th through 21 and 22 through 28. I would like to know if EDD would hold a week or will they pay me for the whole 2 weeks? I'm not quite sure what you mean by hold a week. Maybe you worked and earned income and you don't want to receive payment that week because you're not eligible for it. If that's the case, you're going to claim your income on your biweekly certifications, and EDD will either reduce your weekly benefit award amount or they won't pay you for that week if it's a certain amount. Now, if you are not wanting payment for another reason, you would either need to not certify in a way that would get you paid. So you would certify that whatever the reason is that you're not wanting payment, you would need to claim it in that certification. Okay, King at 5:05. I just heard for disaster unemployment, and there are raging fires up here, so it's very hard to find in Butte County. The Dixie Fire has stopped me from getting a lot of work here. I'm so concerned. Okay, so disaster assistance, PUA is marked as disaster assistance in the program type, but PUA is different from regular disaster assistance. Regular disaster assistance is for natural disasters such as floods or wildfires when you can't work. So if you are actually impacted, you have to evacuate your home, etc., you can contact the EDD and see if you qualify for disaster assistance. If it's a pandemic-related reason, though, then that's PUA. So if you are, in fact, evacuated, your work is closed due to wildfires, then contact the EDD and see if you are able to switch over to disaster assistance, because that one will continue on as well because it's a regular program. All right, Hunter at 5:05. If I started my PUA claim late, I won't receive back pay after September 4th. No, you can still receive back pay. You can still receive back pay as long as it's for an eligible period. So if you started and filed your claim after December 27th or onward, then you can only backdate as early as 12/6. That's the rule. More backdating questions. Okay, what do I do if I request to backdate and they tell me my claim is in process? It sounds like maybe you already submitted a backdating request and they're processing it. So then you would wait until they process it, which will take a couple weeks up to a couple months. Okay, I had a phone interview at 8:26 and nobody called. Stuck on pending. Sometimes they cancel the phone interviews if they don't need to collect information from you anymore, and then you'll go to paid. And sometimes they just cancel the phone interviews, even though they still need to interview you. So unfortunately, there's no real way to know unless you move to paid. Now, you should be eligible to receive a conditional payout on your claim as long as you received one unemployment payout previously and you've been pending for over 2 weeks. That would come through automatically by September 30th, or you can contact your assembly member to get it pushed through faster. So I would contact your assembly member to see if you can get pushed from pending to paid faster, and then the EDD will contact you later on if they need to still collect a phone interview from you. Relax at the Disco says, someone stole my catalytic converter out of my Honda Element a couple days ago. Spent $1,000 to replace it. I'm sorry to hear that. Relax. We'll get, okay, yeah. Yeah, people are in desperate situations. I'm sorry. All right, let's see what to do if I request to backdate and they tell me my claim is in process. I already answered that one. DR, I'm trying to get in contact with the insurance. I already answered that one. Let's see, 509. If I worked from January through April 2020, I can file a new claim when PEUC ends. If you worked within the last 18 months, then you can file a new claim when you reach the end of your benefit year, 12 months after your claim start date for UI, PEUC, or Fed Ed. Jerry at 509, I'm still waiting for my MEUC application. Okay, the MEUC, you need to call the MEUC phone line. I did a video on this. It's on my channel homepage with the MEUC phone number. Let me actually pull the link of the page of where it is so that you have it. Hold on. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to link this page for you in the chat box. Where did it go? On this page, you will find the phone number for the MEUC phone line. Call that phone line, tell them you did not receive an application, and they will be able to help you. Okay, Queen Fire at 509. I still have pending payments after disqualifications in some weeks. What do I do? If you have disqualifications, those aren't going to get fixed unless you contact customer service or contact your assembly member. Pending payments will get pushed through the use of conditional payments by September 30th, as long as you have collected one or more unemployment payouts on your claim and you've been pending for over 2 weeks. That'll come through automatically by September 30th, but it's also beneficial to try to get it paid faster by contacting your assembly member. So Michael probably has recently dropped the link in the chat on how to locate your assembly member. Call them and they should be able to help you to get that processed faster and get the disqualification fixed. Okay, Michael, thank you. I really appreciate that. All right, DR, I already did that one. Hi, thank you. Let's see, Easy Dimes at 509. My PUA extension started at 4/2021. Started receiving money with a $300 week, June 2021. So I'm backdated for 2 months now. Can I still receive the money? Okay. Your extension, PUA isn't an extension though. Well, there was a point in time when PUA was used as an extension when there was a lapse. But started in April. It says it started in April, but then you received it in June. If it's a case of needing to backdate your claims start date, then you can do that on askedd.edd.ca.gov. If it's a case of your claim start date is already accurate, but you did not receive the certifications to UI Online, then you unfortunately need to contact customer service. Travis, thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay, Sahara at 511. I was about to open a business. I have to prove to show that I bought the equipment, but due to COVID, I was not able to open it, unfortunately. Can this be accepted as work documentation? So the EDD is going to be sending you out an additional notification to your UI Online if you received that heads up email, essentially, of, hey, we're going to need to collect documentation. So if you received that first email, there's a second, more detailed email coming out with the specific documents that they want. Now, I did a video because I wanted to look up what the Department of Labor says is acceptable documents. So what the Department of Labor said are going to be acceptable documents is most likely what the EDD is going to say, because they're taking their instructions from the Department of Labor. Department of Labor says a business license, a business plan, seller's permit, etc., are all so legal business documents, but they also included a business plan in there. So all of that documentation, watch the video that I created about a week ago on that topic on my channel homepage for more information. Okay, I already did that one. Oops, that's just my moderator. Yeah, I know, I'm just drinking tea. It needs to be something else. All right. Jade at 513. How does paying pending work? How does paying pending work? Is it a lump sum or do they slowly pay you? Okay, it depends. If you are stuck in pending, you're getting conditional payments. It depends. Some people are going to receive a lump sum if those payments are processed all at once. That would be due to them being pending weeks, all due to the same reason on the same type of claim and the same phase of a claim, etc. But some people are seeing a few pending weeks paid out at different points in time. That would be because they're pending for different reasons, because they are on different types of claims. Like if you were on UI and then you moved to PEUC and then you moved to Tier 2 PEUC, those are going to be paid out at different rates. So it is completely dependent on your own unique claim. Okay, Easy Dimes says, unfortunately, we are not able to process your request. The date for the backdate request of 4/4 overlaps the pre-existing claim effective date of 5/3 and the benefit year end of 9/6. Okay, hold on. The date, so you tried to request backdating to April 4th, but you had a prior claim. Okay, it sounds like you had different types of claims. So the problem here, and I'm going to generalize because the dates are a little too confusing. So I'm going to generalize. If you're backdating something and it messes up a different part of your claim, you have to contact customer service and try to see if it's possible. Because, for example, if you are backdating a regular UI claim, regular UI is 26 weeks. If you try to backdate that, then you're allowing more weeks in that UI claim than are available. Then you would be issued an overpayments statement. And then you would have to overpay some of those benefits. And then you have to backdate a PEUC extension. So it gets really messy. In your case, I would contact the EDD customer service department directly to try to sort it out with them, because it sounds like your specific claim is more complicated. Okay, Veronica at 514. Tier 2 extension, claim 415. 6 weeks in April and May 2020 were not paid. Can I get these paid? Possibly. If they were not paid, it depends on the reason why. If you weren't eligible for those benefits for any reason, then they would not be paid. But as long as you're eligible and it was just an error on the EDD's part, something that needs to be corrected, then yes, those are going to be paid to you. Contact your assembly member. Michael can drop the link in the chat box, and hopefully they will be able to help you more efficiently than contacting customer service. Okay, Michelle. Thank you. I'm in PEUC, I think. I don't know what tier exactly, but claim ends soon. To qualify for federal aid. And what is Fed Ed? Okay, so if you're in PEUC, regardless of what tier you're in, PEUC is going to end after September 4th. If you qualify for Fed Ed, as you referenced here, you will receive only one additional week of payout because Fed Ed ends September 11th. Now, I'm not going to go through the qualification for Fed Ed right now because it is complicated and it involves math based on your own unique earnings and weekly benefit award amount. But I have a video that walks you through the calculation on screen. So I want you to go to my channel homepage, type in Fed Ed, and then you'll be able to watch it there and calculate it out for yourself. Okay, I am at 519. I followed your advice, contact my assemblyman. Within about an hour, EDD called and said my 8 weeks of not paid will be paid. They moved the UI to PEUC for May and June. You're very welcome. I'm really glad to hear that that worked out for you. Okay. Scrolling up. I skipped a little too far down. Hi, Shelly. Glad to see you. Tuning in as I drive to work. Not driving yet. Please, everyone know, like the video, sign the petition. Thank you, Shelly. And I was just talking to you before this live. I'll probably talk to you after. All right, DR, what is the insurance claim number prompt? I keep getting transferred to departments that can't help, and I need back pay before. What is the insurance claim number prompt? So you keep getting, okay, I see. You're getting kind of rerouted on the menu and you're not sure how to get through. Okay, so back pay you can apply for yourself. Go to askedd.edd.ca.gov. Apply for it there. I have a video that walks you through all the steps. If you click on my channel homepage and then you search for backdate, then you'll watch all the steps there. So I would do that instead of calling in. All right, Santa Cruz, 518, 26 weeks UI in September and no extension. There is still a pandemic and my business is closing. I'm sorry to hear that. BART parking lot was full pre-pandemic. Now it's nearly empty during the week. The math is not adding up. Okay, so yeah, 26 weeks are going to end. Many small businesses closing. Okay, yeah. So there's not going to be an additional extension for you at this time after that. But once you reach the end date of 1 year's worth of benefits, if you worked and earned income within the last year, then you could file a new claim in that case. Okay, effing Compton at 518. Will contacting EDD or my assembly member by phone make it so that I will get a decision about my backdate request immediately or sooner? No, it will not. It's been 2 weeks. That's normal. It's going to take a few weeks up to a few months on your backdating request. That's not something that can really be sped up, unfortunately. I would continue to wait as long as you know that you have submitted it properly. You're going to have to wait on it. You can contact your assembly member or the EDD and try to follow up on it. But in most cases, it's not usually very successful because they just have to process them. All right, Duck Norris. And 518. So I laugh at your name because my family has chickens. My sister has chickens, and one of the chickens' name is Cluck Norris. All right, Ginny, I was told to wait for my phone interview to get all my weeks paid. Never been paid once, and out of nowhere, a day after certifying for my last 2 weeks, I was paid, but only for those 2 weeks. Okay, so it sounds like they're starting to apply conditional payments then. Conditional payments are going to continue to be pushed through for pending weeks up until September 30th. You then are going to have your phone interview. You still have to do the interview. You have to still provide that information, but they are pushing pending weeks to paid. And in many cases, depending on the type of claim and the issues with that claim, they're coming through in batches. So those should continue to still come out. Let me just change this. It's getting darker in here. Okay. All right, 518. I filed a regular UI claim in May. Interview July 29th. No response from EDD. My assembly rep said, I am pending fraud review. How long does this take? My rep does not know how long. Okay, so if you filed a new claim, then your claim undergoes what should be 3 weeks worth of additional fraud review. This is called UISD review, and it includes them sending your claim out to a third-party company to perform additional fraud checks. It should take 3 weeks. However, if it takes longer than that, then I would follow up with EDD customer service. But it does take a little bit of time, unfortunately. Okay, 518. Oh, it's already 5:30. I'm going to do five more minutes of questions. My assembly member talked to EDD. Payments were pending. It was quickly fixed. He said EDD filed my new year claim, and I did get paid. I never received an award letter, though. Okay, so if you did not receive an award letter, it sounds like you weren't required to file a new claim because they can't automatically file you a new claim without speaking to you and collecting all the details. So I'm guessing that they just extended your claim. Did you have wages within the last 18 months? You would have received the award letter also in your UI Online inbox. Check the program type in the transaction history section of your claim for your most recent payout as soon as you're paid on that newest claim weeks, and check the program type. If it says UI, then you are in fact on a new claim. But if it says tier two augmentation or PEUC or Fed Ed, then you are not on a new claim. All right, I'm going to take just a couple last minutes of questions. Chuck Norris, you're very welcome. All right. That one. 522. Is there any likelihood of an extension or modification of benefits by the state or federal government? Is there any likelihood? So I don't like to give personal opinion. What we know is that if something is going to be changed on the federal level, we have to have it proposed, passed in a congressional level, and then signed into law. Right now, there's nothing proposed currently. If things continue to progress in terms of cases, business closures, etc., could something potentially be proposed? It could, but we don't have anything right now. Now, if the states, specifically when we're in California, if the state of California had additional budget in that state and local fund to reallocate to unemployment benefits, then the Treasury and Department of Labor says that it can. But California doesn't have additional funds in that allocation, that $27 billion. They have already put all of those funds into different programs, as I shown in that video where I show exactly how it's broken down in the Department of Finance. They've already earmarked those for other programs. That's already been passed in the budget. So they would have to, if something was to change, reallocate, rewrite the budget, re-vote on it, re-sign it, etc. So that's where we're at right now. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. DR. What is the insurance? Okay, I already answered that one. For backdating, go to askedd.edd.ca.gov. Okay, Virginia. Does anyone get $500 today from the IRS? Okay, so what that is, $500, if you received a $500 payment, that most likely is the Golden State Stimulus 2 dependent payout. So your son and your husband did. I'm not quite sure because your son and your husband did. Your son would not, well, I don't know how old your son is, so I can't state that. Here's what it could be. It could potentially be a tax refund, such as unemployment taxes that were overpaid being paid back. Could be. It also could be just a regular IRS refund. It also could be a Golden State stimulus payout because $500 is the amount that you receive if you claim dependence on your tax return for Golden State Stimulus 2. So even if you already received Golden State Stimulus 1, the $600, you're not going to receive a second $600, but what you can receive is a $500 flat payout if you claim dependence on your tax return. So that is I'm guessing what that is. Okay, I'm going to do 2 last questions. Maria at 528. I have a 2019 Schedule C tax form with a total gross income of $10,200. Is there a minimum income to show for the PUA proof of self-employment requirement? No, there is not a minimum, but you do want it to match up to what you claimed on your application. So there's not a minimum in order to qualify for PUA. So anything is fine. You have your Schedule C, you are good to go. But if you claimed something different on your application, like let's say you made a mistake because on the application, they ask for net self-employment income, not gross. So let's say that you accidentally claimed that full $10,200, but on your Schedule C line 31, it only shows, let's say $5,000 because of your deductions. So that is where the problem will lie, is if you have a discrepancy between the number you put on your application and the documentation that you can show. So hopefully you're all good there because you didn't note that here. Okay, what is the insurance? I've already answered this like 10 times. Don't do this, you guys. Can you email me with a question? No. Pull some strings, help us get an extension. So I did a petition, but petitions are for getting attention brought to an issue. I can't make you get an extension. I can be a voice to you and amplify your needs and your frustrations so that news stations and things like that can hear you. I can forward it to the governments. I can forward it to the governor's office, which I have done. So sign that petition, watch the video, leave like 20 comments on that video so it gets more views, more signatures, etc. Michael can link the petition. Okay, I'm going to do one last question, and it's going to be whatever this one is, 5:30. I was verifying my benefits up to 3 weeks ago. Most of the weeks say not paid, but the certify button isn't available for me. Okay, so if you were certifying and it's moving to not paid, that's a problem. And now the certified button isn't coming. A lot of people are reporting the certified button doesn't populate for them automatically, even though it's time to certify, and they have to call customer service every time to get it loaded. So if you're not seeing a certify button, you do need to call in and try to get that button added there. Use all the phone tips that Michael can drop. If you want to use Claimer to get through faster, you can use that. You can use the 134 trick. You can contact your assembly member. Now, if you're seeing not paid, you also need to contact either your assembly member or customer service, because not paid is not quite the same as pending. It's not going to change. It's going to stay not paid until you correct whatever it was that made you move into not paid. Okay, you guys, I am all done for the day. Make sure, please, that you, Michael, drop the link to that petition. Please, when you leave this, go click over to that, sign it. Don't donate to it. I wrote that on the petition. Don't donate to this. You can, and it'll be promoted on change.com, but I think you should keep your money and just make it so that the YouTube video promotes the petition. So sign the petition, go to the YouTube video and leave like 20 comments, leave random emojis, whatever you want, so that the YouTube algorithm sees that that video is getting attention. And then how YouTube works is if it sees that a video is successful, it wants more people to see it. So it starts putting it in everyone's sidebars and their suggested videos, etc. That is how it gets more attention. That is how the news networks contact me to speak about it, etc. So go leave lots of comments on it. You can tell it's time for me to end the live stream because I'm messing up my words. Okay, you guys, I'll see you next time.